Alright guys, before I start this video, the information I'm about to give you now has just come out while I was editing this video. So I'm going to give it to you now, and then that'll make the rest of this video about the Alec Baldwin shooting make a little more sense. So sources are now confirming, and today is October 24th, Sunday, people on set have confirmed that the gun which was fired by Alec Baldwin on the set of the movie Rust that took the life of one and injured another was used, and I'm going to get this quote correct, multiple sources connected to the production of the film have said that the gun was fired at off-the-clock gatherings, which would explain how a live round was in this gun. Another source on set has said that when police arrived, they found live ammunition and blank rounds stored in the same area where the fatal mix-up could have occurred. Now, I had that information, if you remember the second video I did, and both of those videos are floating above. The second video I did on this where I told you some rumors that were out there, they were actually from the set, but I didn't have solid information. Well, it is now confirmed that yes, that gun was used by people on that film set for target practice. So with that said, let's roll into the rest of this video. Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, the premier source for Second Amendment news. Sunday morning, almost midday. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Figured I'd do a quick update because there's been more information that's come out about the Alec Baldwin prop gun shooting. And I figured, I told you I would update you if I got more info. So maybe this is something worth watching here on a Sunday for you. So I did see some stuff from the Santa Fe Sheriff's Office and the affidavit that has been submitted. And here are a couple of things in addition to that other people in the film industry have now come forward on record to say about the assistant director, Dave Halls, who is the assistant director who was working on the Rust film with Alec Baldwin. So Dave Halls has had several safety complaints lodged against him, and there's some other about his behavior, but that's not here or there. He had two productions that he was working on in 2019, and both of them had produced safety complaints, including a disregard for safety protocols for weapons and pyrotechnic use. And I'm reading from some notes that I took from the affidavit and some other things that I've been looking into. So he has a history of disregarding protocols, safety protocols for guns, weapons, and pyrotechnics. And some other stuff were safety, like I said, safety and behavior related. You can, if you really want to look into that, you can. So Halls was the assistant director who obtained the firearm, got it from the armorer's crate, and we'll talk about that more in a second here as well. Maggie Gall, G-O-L-L, who is a local 44 prop master, she worked with Halls on Hulu's Into the Dark series. She's also come forward talking about Dave Halls, saying that he's neglected to hold safety meetings and constantly failed to announce the presence of firearms on set to the crew, which is protocol. So here we have a person who has a history of being negligent and reckless when it comes to the firearms on the set of the films he's working on. Now, I will tell you that to me does not take the onus off of anybody, especially the person who pulled the trigger. However, let's continue. So the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office affidavit that has been submitted shows that the armorer for this film, whose name is Hannah Gutierrez, set up 3 prop guns in a gray cart. Halls, the assistant director for this movie Rust, got the gun, handed it to Alec Baldwin. They were going to do a rehearsal, and the rest is history. But as he handed that gun to Baldwin, he called out cold gun. Now, if you remember the video I did the other day, when they say going hot, that is with live rounds. Cold gun is called off when they have a gun that is filled with blanks, which the assistant director Halls did in this scenario. Again, that indicates that there are no live rounds. Well, we all know that it did have a live round. The investigation has now centered on how what should have been a prop gun filled with blanks fired a round that shot and killed, again, Helena Hutchins and Joel Souza, who was injured. Now, some directors now in Hollywood are calling for a total ban in the industry of using firearms on set. I don't think that'll ever happen, because if you look at all these anti-gun liberal directors and movie stars, they make a ton of money off of guns, and then they turn around and say, you can't have those because you're bad. So there is a movement right now of the ultra-left liberals trying to say, we can't have these anymore on our sets because they're very dangerous. But if they followed all the safety protocols, this could have never happened. That needs to be said. If, whether it's Halls or anybody else on that set who handled the firearm, followed all of the safety protocols that are in place, this could not have happened. So it's not the gun's fault. It's these people's negligence that have brought this situation to be. Now, there's a series on TV called The Rookie. I believe if it's like it has to do with LAPD. They've already banned the use of firearms on their sets going forward. I don't know how long that series is going to last, because you can't film a cop show where they're always having issues with violent criminals without having guns. It's just, but what do I know? Also, the days leading up to this shooting on set, specifically on October 16th, Alec Baldwin's stunt double fired 2 rounds that actually fired from the prop guns that he was told were cold and safe. So that was a huge red flag. They had issues, but I guess, did anybody look into, like, hey, is this ammunition real? Are these real live guns? I guess that's too much common sense. So they pushed forward. And again, I've already told you about the crew leaving over working conditions, so walking off the set a couple hours before the shooting happened. But either way, that is a clear violation of basic firearm safety rules by everybody involved who touched that gun, from the armorer to the assistant director to Alec Baldwin. Now, I've seen a bunch of comments on some of my Instagram stuff that I put up on this, and going back and forth, and everybody has a good point of view. There are those that say, Alec Baldwin, when he's handed the gun and he's told cold, then, he should believe that. And then there's others saying that every time you're handed a gun, whether you're a movie star or not, and they're telling you it's unloaded, you should actually check to see if it's unloaded. I personally, now this is my personal belief, I believe that every time I'm handed a firearm, I'm not going to get up and grab it, I check it all the time, every time. If I'm told here this is a safe gun, or even if somebody hands me a gun, like at SHOT Show or any of these range days I go to, when I'm handed a gun, I always rack that slide to peek inside. Always make sure the magazine is out. But I've been handling firearms for close to 3 decades now, and an instructor for over 20 years. But that, to me, is second nature. But apparently, it's, I don't know. The basic firearm safety rules and the protocols that are established for these firearms, if that stuff was followed, this wouldn't have happened. It's a tragedy. It's terrible that somebody lost their life over this, again. But as more information comes out from the investigation and the Santa Fe Sheriff's Office release more information, I will have it here for you. And please continue to watch the channel and subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to stay in the know. And as always, thank you for your time. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry your gun to make sure you can ensure your safety, the safety of your loved ones, your community, and your friends and family. And with that, I will see you on the next one. It is a beautiful Sunday. Hope you get to spend it with those you love. Take care, everybody.